We talk about PvP a lot on this channel, and there is good reasons for, why. And if you want to hear all the reasons, just go to the channel and, watch all the videos about PvP. I have a number of issues with PvP in the game, and the developers do as well, which is mostly why I cover it when I do. But today will be a different type of conversation, because I did talk about before about matchmaking, and since then actually, because that was a video more than a month ago now, I think. Since that conversation, I played a bunch of more games. I listened to a bunch of different people talk about it too, posts on different websites, right? And just the combination of experience from other people as well as mine. And I wanted to today to share, I do understand why Embark did what they did. I think it made sense when they thought about it. They talked about how to approach matchmaking, what people don't want, what people like, and they come up with this system. And I don't blame them. I think it made a lot of sense at the time. I do want to give my honest feedback on the ridiculousness of this entire system. I want to talk about PvP again, but this time about the side where I partake in PvP, because I do. I think a lot of people probably get the idea from this channel that I never shoot anybody. I get bored from PvE. I still do PvE, by the way. Like, the big arc is still so much fun to do. It's so much fun to do with people and all that. But obviously the game has an entire side to it that I, of course, participate in. It's foolish not to use an entire, like, a different approach to the game when you have it. And PvP is definitely one of those things that you can do in the game. If it's balanced, if it's fun, engaging, that's up to you to decide. Honestly, I said so many things about PvP already in the game. If you come from games that very much focus their entire gameplay and the mechanics, even the matchmaking, around PvP, then you will come to this game and you will probably not enjoy it too much. I would say that it definitely can be satisfying. It can definitely, it can feel like you get this rush, this adrenaline rush of defeating an enemy. But I covered this before. I don't want to get into it too much, but it's just not good. It just doesn't feel good. The rewarding system for PvP in general always sucked in the game, and that's why I usually talk about it. However, you can actually choose yourself. Like, you can literally, if you know how to do it, you can bend the system, how the game matchmakes you, and abuse it into having easier PvP matches. Because I do this because I know this works 100%. Like, I promise you this works. So first I want to teach you how to get out of the spiral of being in constant PvP matches. You can get out of it. Maybe you want to do a key run, maybe you want to get a key card and raid a room that's locked for good gear. Maybe you want to take down the queen finally. Maybe you wanna just do quest or something, and you don't wanna lose your gear, right? All the arguments against PvP are always viable. I think in this game, the biggest example of why PvP sucks is because there's so many other things other than PvP to do, that it always sucks when you are forced to partake in PvP just to defend yourself. That's why a lot of people hate PvP, because it's never optional. PvE is always optional. PvE, shooting against Arc, is always an option. You can always avoid it. PvP seems something that you're always kind of dragged into, and that feels really bad. I get that. So this is how you avoid PvP. If you are in those matches where you just get shot on sight, you find a player, they will instantly shoot you. If you are in those kinds of matches, you just go in naked. Don't get a free kit. This is the biggest problem and biggest mistake you do. Trust me, don't get a free kit. Go in naked. You can get some cheap gear if you want to. It doesn't affect it. The free kit affects you, but any other gear doesn't. So get some gear if you want, or go naked. Get in any map, doesn't matter. I would say honestly, if you want to make this as fast as possible, go to Stella, because it's fastest way to like get shot. Go in naked, loot some containers somewhere. This is important. Just loot something, even if it's already open. Just open containers. Open like 10 containers if you get to. If you encounter any player, try to ping them, which means, you know, wave at them, say hey, hi raider, and don't shoot. Those are very important. Do that. You do that, very likely if you're in these kinds of lobbies already, if you have that kind of matchmaking, you will get shot eventually. People kill you, people knock you out, and this is important. When you get the kill screen, you go back. There is a button at the end of every raid you can click called round feedback. You click on that. Sometimes it prompts it automatically. Like after every few games, the game asks you, but you can do it manually, which is a big mistake, I think, from Embark. I think they should absolutely remove it. So you click this button, you click on I hated it, right? Like it asks you how did you like the last raid. You click on I hated it, and then if you click this, the game actually asks you what did you hate about it. These three options, which is, I think, matchmaking, PvP balance, and something third that I don't remember. But this important part is that you click on matchmaking and PvP balance, or whatever it's called. Those two are very important. You click on it, you submit it, and you do the same thing over and over. Eventually, I'm telling you, even on Stella, it doesn't matter where you are. Eventually, you do it few times. It might take you even like 10 times. You do the exact same thing 10 times. Whenever you get shot, you hated it, you give the feedback, you hated it. And when this is important, you don't look for people to shoot you, you look for people. If they shoot you, you give the feedback, like I said. But if people don't shoot you, if people say hi back and like get friendly with you, which will happen to you every now and then, even if you are in the bad PvP matchmaking, by the way. If that happens, make sure you stick with these people as long as you can. And if you do survive the raid, then you also click on the feedback and then you say you loved it. You know, you do the opposite, and that's it. That's the system. That's the matchmaking in this game. So once you do this, you want to do it a couple of more times just to be sure. Just always go in naked, or maybe with some of the gear that you got out. Loot. Important part in this game is that this game tracks your activity a lot more than you realize. So if you are looting containers, the game knows it. It's the recap at the end of the raid that shows you if you killed Arc, if you killed players, you know, knocked out players, damaged players, if you looted containers, how long have you stayed in the raid. All these things accumulate towards your XP. So the game tracks it, right? So make sure you shoot some Arc if you can, loot containers, and don't PvP. And at some point the game realizes what kind of matchmaking you want. For some reason, the game doesn't account for your history. If you have a history of heavily shooting people, like you killed 10 people every raid, it doesn't really account for it. I don't know why this is, but it doesn't really care. If you decide all of a sudden that you don't like the rounds, you just let them know. You start behaving like, you know, you want to PvE, and eventually you will be getting incredibly friendly lobbies where PvE is super easy because everybody cooperates and nobody shoots anybody else but the PvE, right? And now it's up to you. If you want to all of a sudden start PvP again, you can. And the worst part is you are in lobbies where people don't expect it, which means people bring out energy weapons and good gear with them. So good chance that if you manage to isolate one person with a good weapon or good gear or good loot, you can just kill them for free because they will not expect it. They played 100 games now without incident, so you can beat the incident. And I realized this is a video that comes off as like I'm guiding people who are assholes and rats and PvP monsters into the friendly lobbies in order to like get free kills and disturb this balance. But you need to understand something. I don't like this either. I don't like the fact that somebody finds out how to abuse this system and get into lobbies where I don't want them. Like, I play the game fucking like just like you. I don't like this either. The problem is, Embark should not have made this system happen in the first place. People, when the game was coming out, after the server slam, after the beta tests, people were saying how the matchmaking will work. This is still a debate, by the way, right? This ongoing debate on how the matchmaking really works. We got the recent update from the devs that this is how it works, aggression-based matchmaking and all these things. We kind of know now how to get around it. But people were upset, or not upset, people were scared. People were scared that the game will have something like gear-based matchmaking, which what that means is that this, I think, I don't wanna talk about other games because I don't have that much experience in them, but I think there is plenty of other games and specifically plenty of other extraction shooters that work this way. Gear-based matchmaking would basically mean that you will get into a raid with people who only also went into the raid with purple augment and energy weapon. The thing is, people at the time thought that was such a terrible way of matchmake and people would be afraid to go into raids with good gear because of it. But if you imagine now how the game would look like if they actually did it, it will be insane, because I think everybody would equally don't want to die to PvP if they went in with a good gear, which means that it would incentivize people using good gear. And it might be that people or Embark didn't want this to be the case. That's possible. I don't know. I don't see into their head. But my point being, I think gear-based matchmaking was actually a good idea, because this is worse. Another idea or another thing people were afraid of, which I think actually, by the way, is true to one extent, is that the matchmaking is based on your rank in trials, which is possible, honestly. I don't know it, there's no way to check that, right? But like, I would believe it. So basically ranked based matchmaking, which is kind of, you know, that makes sense too, to be honest. Or there is another idea that the matchmaking could have been based on level, on the account level, right? All these things. So these are things that we cannot check. I mean, the level we could check even the trials, but it would depend on always befriending somebody in the raid and then asking them. So it's definitely doable. You can survey this, but my point being, from a single person observing the game, from my point of view, I know what works. And I know if I want to start PvP, I need to start damaging people. If I do it long enough, I will start seeing people shooting each other, so I know what kind of lobby I'm in. And if I don't want that anymore, if I say, this week I will want to go, you know, do some PvE, I will want to go to do some looting, and, you know, not worry about other players. All I need to do is how I described it. I go into raids with nothing or just minimal gear. I greet people, don't shoot them. Even if they shoot me, I don't shoot back. This is very important, by the way. Like, if you want to do what I told you to do, don't shoot people back. The game only cares about what you do in the match and how you died. So if you return fire, the game knows you dealt damage. So this will kind of, you know, sabotage what you are trying to do. So don't shoot back. Let people kill you if they are gonna kill you, and then just report it back, you know, give the feedback. And if you do it enough times, you will end up in very very friendly lobbies. This is just not okay, because once people will understand better how to abuse this system, which is very abusable, by the way. Even the people who want to play the game just for the PvE and want to enjoy each other and don't want to kill each other, even these people will get targeted in a matter of time before the people who want to kill friendly players will figure out how to do it. Trust me, this video will not be the epicenter of some crazy mayhem happening. Like, this is a common knowledge already. We already know that the game works like this. It's just that my personal experience is that it's so easy to do. I'm telling you, inside 10 raids, you can skew the matchmaking into your favor, into any way you want. And it all hinges on that one feedback button. It all hinges on how you tell the game to matchmake you, because the way the game takes in information you do in the raid and the feedback afterwards is all AI triggered. It's all using some kind of algorithm that is not handled by a person but the game itself. So it doesn't really care if you are going one day to full PvP and the next day you're all of a sudden a saint. It doesn't question it, it doesn't question that you PvP this whole time and all of a sudden you don't want to PvP. It just, it wants to make you happy. The game is kind of designed to make the player happy. So if you're unhappy, it will do its best to give you the better experience. And that is the absolute root of the problem here. Because we are trying to make everybody happy. And you cannot make everybody happy. I wanna give Embark some credit, and I wanna say maybe I don't completely see the whole picture, and maybe they will change this in the future. But as of right now, it's hard to see the upside of all of this. And honestly, I'm kind of scared for the game. I'm scared for the community, and how this will eventually end up being. Because right now, the fact is that this kind of matchmaking can only end up badly for everybody involved. Alright, well, I've said my piece, and you can comment in the comments about what you think about this. And I hope nobody will actually abuse the system, but like I said, I don't think there is any way to avoid people abusing something like this, so that's why I'm making the video. Yeah, that's everything from me. We'll see you later.